Mr. Nosey by Roger Hargreaves. Mr. Nosey liked to know everything that was going on. He was always poking his nose into other people's business. Mr. Nosey was the sort of a person who, if they came upon a locked door, couldn't resist looking through the keyhole to see why the door had been locked. Mr. Nosey was the sort of a person who, if he found an unopened letter addressed to somebody else, would simply have to open it to find out what was inside.
Mr. Brown, 15 High Street, Tiddletown.
Mr. Nosey was the sort of a person who, if he was sitting reading his paper on a train, would much rather read the paper of the person sitting next to him. Naturally, as you might well imagine, Mr. Nosey was not very popular. People did not like the way in which Mr. Nosey would peek and pry into their affairs. They did not like it at all, but did that stop Mr. Nosey peeking and prying? It did not. Mr. Nosey lived in a funny tall thin house in a place called Tiddletown. The people of Tiddletown decided that Mr. Nosey was becoming much too nosy, and so they held a meeting to discuss what to do about him.
We must find some way of stopping him being so nosy,
said old Mr. Chips, the town carpenter.
That's right,
said Mrs. Washer, who ran the Tiddletown laundry.
He needs to be taught a lesson. If only we could think of a way to stop him poking his nose into everything,
said Mr. Brush, the painter, and then a small smile spread across his face.
Listen,
he said, now grinning.
I have a plan.
All his friends gathered round to listen to his plan.